Da-Nay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to interview you today because I know that when we first met, you were a career coach, and I also know that you've gone through transformation and you're now a life purpose coach.
Yes.
And I just want to know, how did you start your career in coaching?
Interesting enough, coaching kind of found me. I was in the corporate world and just really unfulfilled and not happy with what I was doing. And I knew that I wanted to work with people. I wanted to develop people. When I was in the corporate world, I was working as a district sales manager. And majority of the time, I hated my job. And I said, okay, well, there's got to be something I love about this job. What is it? And it was the leading, the teaching, the managing, the development of my people. So I said, well, I don't want to go back to school. I was just keeping it real with myself. That's too long to become a psychiatrist and go through all of that to really help people. So I said, what are my options? And what do you know? I got an email, asked me if I wanted to be on a conference call about becoming a life
Yes.
coach. And so I'm like, what is a life coach? So I got on the conference call, found out all about it, and that was the perfect avenue. So in 2008, I went through a program to get certified as a Christian life coach. And that's how I got
Yes.
into the world of coaching. Started in career coaching because I was good at it. People just came to me in regards to their cover letters, resumes, interviews, because majority of the jobs I ever went for, I landed. And so I fell into the career coaching, but I still wasn't fulfilled. So I said, you know what? I want to help those people, the 80% of the population that hate their jobs. I want to help them discover their own passions and their own individual purposes. So I now specialize in life purpose and transformational coaching.
You said something I wanted to go back to. You
Sure.
said that you landed most of the jobs you went after. What was it about you, or what did you do to land those positions?
Um, Preparation is key, and I'm a big believer in planning. Plan your work and work your plan. So for me, when it came time for a position, I always had to look at, okay, what's going to, excuse me, differentiate me from another candidate. So I believed it started with, all the information about the company, not just going to the website, Googling the companies, any and all information I wanted to make sure I knew about. And then I would also research, okay, who am I interviewing with? I would research them on the internet, find out about, their likes and dislikes. So that way, I always wanted to be that person that stood out in the interview, that they remembered, that they was most impressed with, because being a person who had to interview people, it stood out to me, the candidates that most impressed me. Why did they impress me? Because they took the time and did their due diligence and they did their homework. So I think that was one of the things. I mean, of course, the skill set that I had in going to college and getting my degree, but additional education, going to different trainings and trying to get certified in different sales workshops, going above and beyond always and developing myself as a person and professional, but then also, that little bit that stood out about me researching the company, the people, and, why I wanted the opportunity.
So people should take note that preparation is key, according to Danae, and
Yes.
research is very important because a lot of people I'm finding are really lazy these days, even though
No,
we
really?
have no really hugely lazy, even though we have access to all of this information, people are not using it to their advantage.
I will definitely agree with you on that. I was saying that, more so, of course, to be sarcastic. I had a young lady just the other day who wanted my assistance with the career coaching side of the business. And, I asked her what she typically did to plan for the job that she went for. And I was shocked. She told me she did not plan. She just walked right into the interviews, and whatever came out just came out. And so I said, do you want this job opportunity that you're telling me about? Do you want to land this role? And she said, yes. So then I said, you need to take some time, go to my website, and then we'll go through the 30-minute discovery session. And I can definitely help you with the planning piece around it, because I said, if you go in to the interview against someone like, let's say, me, who has planned, know all about the company, the people I'm interviewing with, how my skills directly correlate to the position, versus you just walking in and saying whatever comes to mind, who do you think they're going to go with?
So she didn't do a background check on the company either.
No.
Oh, that's really bad. They told us that in college. They said have at least know what the company does, if nothing else, well, who they are and what they do.
Mm-hmm. As far as, yeah, so to your point, laziness, not researching, all of that exists.
You say you help people find their purpose and so they could be happier in what they do. But do you think laziness may contribute to their unhappiness?
I
Laziness contributes to their unhappiness?
I think that it does contribute to it, but I think the biggest part of what I find is people, their belief in believing that they can do it, but then also they allow sometimes some circumstances and situations, be it, financially, or if they may have a spouse that doesn't support them, family and friends. And so they're looking for that green light on the highway, all the lights to be green at the same time to go. But I'm sure, as you know, in your endeavors, in business and being an entrepreneur, all the lights are never going to be green on the highway. Sometimes you have to take chance and risk, but most importantly, it starts with you. You have to, believe that you can do something, or at least put yourself out there. So I think laziness can be a small part of it, but I think majority of it is the person's belief in themselves and the biggest question they have: how is it I can do this? How do I make the transition from point A to point B? But they don't explore the options, or in particular a life coach to be able to assist them in giving them resources and tools to help them make their transition and game plan on how to get from point A to point B. And life coaches, me in particular, I'm going to help you get from point A to point Z if that's what you really want.
And could you explain life coaching a lot more? Not a little more, a lot more for people like me, because in the past, I know at least in my opinion that I've been aware in the last 2 years, everybody's a life coach and it's overrated now. And I need to know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one with the question, exactly what is a life coach and what is your purpose? Or what do you do as a life coach?
I'm glad that you said that. You're absolutely right. Life coaching has become more of a saturated market, and I hate to say so, but I think the basis is one, if you're a candidate looking for a life coach, one, you need to ask the question, okay, is this person a self proclaimed life coach? Or is this a certified life coach, such as myself, that has actually gone through an accredited program, that has been educated on the different methods of coaching a client? Or again, is it just someone who says, okay, I'm a life coach based on, my experiences, but hasn't gone through a formalized program on how to coach a client to success? In the simplest manner to answer the question, a life coach is someone that helps you to get decisive. For those individuals going back to not understanding their purpose and just the not knowing part, so you're at a place where you're indecisive. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know how to do it. You don't have the tools, the resources, the support. So when you come to a life coach is someone that is going to take you through maybe a particular program or very customized exercises and assessments to really help you, I like to say, take the blinders off. That's what a life coach ultimately does for you. Right now, each one of us goes through life with blinders on, sometimes consciously and subconsciously. A life coach takes those blinders off, shows you new opportunities to really show you the possibilities, and then they assist you in your own personal navigation in the journey of achieving your goals and really evaluating, are these, smart goals, and figuring out how to accomplish whatever goals that you want to accomplish in your life.
Okay, because I was just wondering. But I do have a question. If a life coach is there to help you with the different parts of your life, well, you know, there are various parts of people's lives that could be financial, career related. It might just be, oh, I'm just disorganized. Can you help me with this part of life? If I came to you as a for financial assistance and you just went through a big, huge bankrupt, not because of mismanagement, not because of circumstances, are you really qualified as a life coach to help me with my situation?
Absolutely not. In addition to the market being saturated with life coaches, you need to look at a coach's specific niche. They do have, to your point, not only life coaches, career coaches, financial coaches, relationship, dating coaches. I mean, if you look out there, there's pretty much a coach for every portion of your life. And to answer your question, if I have a client that comes to me and they're seeking financial coaching more so, I'm going to refer them to a financial financial coach that I partner with. So I have a group of coaches that I work with. So if someone comes to me, I'm not just going to say, oh, yeah, I can help you, and don't have the first clue about how to help them. I'm going to listen to them and make the assessment and say, okay, I'm going to refer you to, whichever the coaches I think would be most beneficial to them.
Okay, I was just wondering because I know someone who says she's a life coach, and I promise you, this person is late for everything. And I'm wondering which aspect, maybe business is her part, it's her specialty, but I'm wondering what is she helping people with when I know you're late for everything,
Well,
but this is your business.
I certainly hope that that's not it. They're on coaching on how to be on time or time management, and I believe that, time is our biggest commodity. We don't get time back. So that's very valuable. So if you're going to call yourself a life coach or call yourself a professional, that comes with the territory. You need to be on time for your appointments or just anything that you schedule. That just starts there, to be on time so people take you serious, first of all.
Okay, that thank you for clarifying that for me because I said, well, since everybody else is a coach, what can I tell people I'm a coach in? But I did tell people I'll be a writing coach, but I can help you through the writing process and to
Because
help
you've
you.
been there and done that. And so don't get me wrong, I think that there are certain people such as yourself that has a natural talent and ability, but most importantly, what qualifies you is you have experience to be able to coach people through these things there. So you have a skill set to offer them because you've been at that point A and now you're at point Z and they're at the start. So you can certainly help them through those life experiences, but to call yourself a life coach and you haven't done anything, or you're not using your skill set to help
Right.
someone else, get to wherever you are in life, then I just think, not only are you wasting their time, but you're wasting your own time.
That's true. But I was just overwhelmed by the whole everybody's a coach and what qualifies you. So thank you for sharing that aspect of it for
You're so
breaking it
welcome.
down for me.
My pleasure.
Now I wanted to talk to you about the Unstoppable Woman's Guide to Emotional Well-Being. Can you tell me about the book and your role in the book?
Oh, absolutely. It is a collaborated effort of 23 other just really phenomenal women all throughout, not only the United States. We have a couple of the co-authors, one's in Africa, one's
Oh,
in China. So
nice.
the women are very diverse. And when I say diverse, all the way around, from ethnicities to backgrounds to education to family life to their philosophy. So I like to call the book a one stop shopping guide for women. And the chapters, such as my own, deals with confront your past to conquer your present. And my chapter specifically deals with women in being honest with themselves about things that happens in their life, and particularly things that happen in their past that they allow to dictate not only their present but their future. So limiting thoughts, I call it, conquer the stinking thinking. So the stinking thinking, it just keeps them locked up in a prison. So I give them strategies and tips, as well as my own personal testimony on how to get beyond your past, how to really, you are the person you believe you are, and you're not what you feel you are necessarily. And the other chapters in the book deal with your financial roadmap, what men really want, how to respect yourself, how to have work and life balance. And I mean, it's just everything for every woman.
Well, if you could give us a brief testimony, you said you shared your testimony. If you can give us a summary of it, and how did you feel as you were pouring yourself into this book? It's one thing to know to journal it because you have your emotions and they're private, but when you shared it in Unstoppable Woman, now it's for the world to read. Now everybody knows me. How did that feel?
Well, the good thing for me is, majority of my life, I've always been a very transparent person. I consider myself to be an open book. That's why I always tell people, if you don't want an honest answer, don't ask me. But it felt good ultimately to pour myself onto the pages of the book and to really see the finished product. It was a little bit of a challenge because I realized how your brain really suppresses a lot of things, and especially when you've dealt with uncomfortable experiences in your past, such as, for me, I'd almost forgot that not only did I attempt to try to commit suicide once, I tried 3 different times. I dealt with, a mom that was an alcoholic that put me out the house, and just, some really uncomfortable things that I had managed to suppress in the back of my mind. And so when I was writing this, all of this started to come out, all of the emotions I started to feel again. But I said, you know what? If I believe in personal testimonies, there's power in them to help other women to say, okay, she's honest and upfront about what happened to her. I can be honest and upfront about what happened to me. Not only so much that, but look, she got past that. These are certain strategies that she implemented. Let me try those. And I too can get past that place. So it was an awesome experience to pour myself into that chapter, and then I'm now pouring myself into my own book. So yeah, you'll have to look for that up and coming.
Well, you gave us an idea of about who you are in Unstoppable Woman, but could you give us a little bit about your book without telling us the whole story?
Sure, I'll give you a peek under the tent there. The book that I'm working on is Cake and Eat It Too. And within the book, it talks about, in the Unstoppable Woman's Guide, I only had a chapter, 11 pages. So now, as far as I have a book to really give you my whole life personal testimony and what that really looks like from a big picture. But most importantly, it's about showing women how they can have everything that they want in their life. They don't have to settle, for anything other than what they want, and giving them real specific exercises and strategies and different assessments to go through to help them figure it out, navigate it themselves, and ultimately have the life that they think is a fantasy. So, turning that fantasy into a reality is the keys of this book.
And when should women expect that book?
I would say that women will be expecting that book at the end of April.
Nice. And one last question. How can people find out about Da-Nay Macklin, the life coach and author?
They can visit me at www.danaymacklin.com, and it talks about all of my services and the investment. And most importantly, I encourage people to go there. I offer a complimentary 30-minute discovery session called Conquer Yourself, where we go through whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to work on. 30 minutes, absolutely free, and that's valued at $75. So why not take advantage of that at the website again, www.danaymacklin.com.
Okay, well, that ends my interview with you today, and I thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And that's a wrap.